Now, I wish I could spend the whole of today on Isaiah and on the Psalm. There are so many incredible images, and there's so much beauty wrapped up in that. But I'm also mindful of another obituary that is often written in our newspapers that's tied very closely to our gospel lesson. Those who say, it doesn't matter what we do, for Jesus is coming. So one will be taken and one will be left behind. If you are out grinding the millflower, one will be taken and one left behind. If you're out working in the field, one will be taken, one will be left behind. So don't worry about stewardship of creation. We don't have to worry about that. God is coming and we will be taken. Don't worry about all of these other things that are on your mind here on earth, because God is coming and we will be taken. We'll leave that to those who are left behind. What an incredible misreading of Scripture. You see, when we lodge ourselves in this gospel lesson and this gospel promise, certainly there is an element of fear. But it is to invite people into a larger conversation. In Matthew, the text is being written to those who are part of the community. The texts are being written to say, are you paying attention? Are you listening to the ways that God is continuing to call us to live and be faithful in Jesus? And soon after this text, we have this idea propelled forward to go out into the world, into the nations, to proclaim a baptism, a hope for all people, not of leaving people behind. In fact, if anything, the image that comes to my mind in the reading of this text is that of some of the slave narratives that I have read. Those where in the night, knowing that something was about to happen, people would listen for the clicks and the whistles and the humming and the tunes coming through the trees. And were ready to go out into that place that they might know the long road to freedom. That they might break free of the chains that have bound them in this world. That they might see the other side of the river, the promise here in this place and time. I imagine this text of two working in the field. Not so much that one can be taken and one left behind, but so that that one says to the neighbor, did you hear that? Did you hear that click? Did you hear that whistle? Grab my hand. Let's steal away together. Let's cross over into this new promise. For you see, as we hear these texts, it is an invitation that is calling us to know and to dwell in a different reality. The Christians of the time that Matthew is writing are used to watching the Roman soldiers come and whisk people away, one by one. Those that are causing trouble, those who are a little too uppity or are proclaiming hope for others, hope that others may believe in and take seriously. So they're used to the Roman soldiers coming and whisking people away. And what happens when you turn that on its head? And rather than Roman soldiers and the empire of death and destruction whisking people away, you have the promise of one who dwells in love and hope and new life for all. And saying, will you come and be part of it? Come and be caught up. Come and be taken up in this new way of dwelling here and into the ages of ages. Come and cross over the river and dwell in this new way of being. The obituary of one being taken and one left behind is obliterated when we start to think that God doesn't want to leave anyone behind, but rather that each person and every piece of creation is to be renewed and made whole. Saying, listen to the clicks, the whistles, the songs, the humming. Grab the hand of the neighbor and come. Come and dwell in a new way. as you come here today and we move into this new year, what are the obituary lines that you're reading? What are the things in our world or in your lives that break your heart? That have you wondering, is this really what I'm here for? What we're here for? What are the lines that are challenging you, that if you woke up in the morning and saw the headline in the paper, you'd say, I can't do this. This isn't who I want to be. This isn't who I view us as being called to be, as people of God. In Advent, we have the opportunity to stand in that place and to see lives and headlines rewritten as God breaks in, taking one and the other and holding us fast, saying, come, I'm leading you into a new promise.